with B-Sides at Portola Music Festival, and I'm hanging out with one of the artists, Azzecca. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
You know, you've had such an amazing year already. You just celebrated your birthday at Burning Man, you got married, you spent your honeymoon, and you just played Portola Music Festival. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Honestly, I'm like barely recovered from my wedding in Burning Man. It was like back to back to back insane situations, but like playing Portola is such a huge like moment for me in my career, so came here and I'm super excited. It's been such a fun time.
I'm glad you're having fun so far, and you opened up the festival. It was so great to catch your set earlier, and we kind of just spoke about it already, but you played Alicia Keys in your set. It was so good. How'd you get that edit?
So I was actually with my friend DJ Seinfeld, his name's Armand. He played in Chicago recently, and I was at his set, and he played this edit, and I was like, you need to tell me what this is right now. And he told me it was Jasper Tigner's like unreleased edit of it. So I messaged him and I was like, you have to give this to me now. And I honestly play it in every single set because the original song is one of my favorite songs of all time, and the edit is like so tastefully done that it's just like it goes off every time, and it's one edit that I just like have absolutely no shame in playing.
I love that. And I know one of the first songs that you released was Cassie. It's a remix of Cassie. And I just want to ask, like, how'd you get into making music and producing?
Yeah, so I have been playing around with making music since I was in college, but never took it seriously, never finished a single song, just kind of like messed around. And it wasn't until COVID, when life came to a complete halt, I stopped working and I was stuck at home. And I was like encouraged by so many people close to me to really dive into what I had already been doing with music, because I really believed in my ability to create a unique thing. And I sort of just learned as much as I could in a couple of years. And the Cassie edit was something that I had started DJing in Chicago I started my own event series in Chicago where I was booking artists to play and I was opening the party. And so I made the Cassie edit as a song just to play at my dirty disco parties, because that, like, the original song is basically like the anthem of my teenage years. And so I made the song just to play it out, and then a bunch of people told me, like, this is really good, you should send this somewhere. And I just sent it to Higher Ground, and Sam, who does the A&R for Higher Ground, was like, yeah, I want to sign this. And so it was kind of just like this unexpected boom from there, like this song that I never intended on. I never thought I would release music or make music in an official manner. I just did it for fun. And then when this song came out, it kind of just like catapulted what is now my career, and it's been just like insane since then.
Yeah, no, that's so crazy. You've been, and you released that song just last year, right?
Yeah. It's honestly been pretty much just a little over a year since my first release. And yeah,
and here you
mad.
are now.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you do the disco party. How did that sort of come along? Like, what kind of made you think like, oh, I want to start making this series?
Yeah, so I live in Chicago, and I've been a raver for a very long time, and I sort of just realized that a lot of the clubs in Chicago were very like male dominated, and a lot of my friends who I know love house and techno sort of stopped going out to clubs because they were just so sick of being around a bunch of like creepy guys. It was just like you're in a club and you have guys like rubbing on you and being inappropriate, and they just like stopped going out. So I wanted to start a night in Chicago that was like very female focused, run by females, where I like set really clear parameters on like what can be accepted and what won't be and what's expected. And I wanted to book really cool underground artists, but encourage women to come out with all their girlfriends and get dressed up and rave and have fun without feeling like I want to avoid this club because there's a lot of weird dudes there. So I started it, and I didn't know what to expect, and it worked so well. And I'm kind of like the police at all of my parties. I'm like walking through the crowds like, are you a creep? Are you a creep? No, you're cool. Like, it has to be good. And it's been amazing, and the girls come out, and it's great.
That sounds amazing. I want to go to this.
Yeah,
like, please tour it
it's
and
so
do
much
it.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, I feel like sometimes I when I pick out an outfit, I'm just like, will guys try to catcall me or be really creepy? And it's really weird as like a woman to like be to consider
You're like,
that.
I want to feel hot.
Exactly.
I want to feel hot with all my girlfriends. I want to go listen to the music I love, and I don't want to have to worry about this weird attention from these weird guys. Like, you know, it's a like, art is art, and music is art, and self-expression is art, and style is art. So you should be able to wear whatever you want and go out and not have to worry about any of that. And I feel like club culture needs to start pushing that more, because in the last like 5 or 6 years, it's definitely become more like male dominated. And yeah, I just think we need more women doing stuff, because women do stuff right. Like girls do things right. So
and I'm glad that you're making this safe space for women. I
Yeah.
hope that one day, if I'm ever in Chicago, I can come and visit and go party at it.
Well, the good thing is I'm starting to tour Dirty Disco, which is awesome. So in 2024, I think we're planning some stuff in LA, some stuff in Miami. So Dirty Disco will come to different cities, and you can come experience the vibe.
Yay, that's awesome. I hope you come to San Francisco. I know we don't stay out as late as Chicago or
I
Miami, but I
love
really
San
hope
Francisco.
you come out here.
I would love to bring it here.
What's been an inspiration to you lately? Like what's inspired you recently?
Honestly, in the last like 6 months, I've been getting really into sort of UK underground artists. I love this sort of revival of UK funky and post dubstep, sort of this really wompy, breaky, abrasive dance music that was like around so long ago and kind of like started the whole dubstep era in America, but like getting back to the roots in the UK and the artists that are doing it in a really tasteful and sort of sexy way. I've been super inspired by that, and I'm trying to like incorporate that into some of my music now, but yeah.
Okay, that's fun. I mean, I love that like fashion and most things, like it's very cyclical, and so
it
it's
all
really
comes
nice
back.
that it all comes back. Exactly, yeah. So you mentioned that when you were during the pandemic, that's kind of when you catapulted to really being a DJ and making music and stuff. Was there anyone that kind of like taught you how to do it? Did you just do it yourself?
Yeah, so I have been DJing by myself, like just in like friends' kitchens and things like that for a long time. But then I met my now husband, who is also a DJ, and when we moved in together, he like brought these decks and like put them on our kitchen counter, and we would every night for like 3 years we'd be like making dinner and like mixing on our kitchen counter, and then like one of us would switch and start like going to the saute pan, and then we'd come back and mix in a new song, and I just sort of learned to do it that way. And then after a little while, I like made my own USB of my own music and started like testing out my own taste, and it sort of just evolved from there. Like having a partner who's also a DJ, who's also super passionate about music, and our passions like coming together and turning into a skill of mine, it kind of happened like effortlessly, and it was fun. So yeah.
That's so fun. I'm getting ideas, and I'm like, my roommate and I have been joking about DJing together, and so I feel like
Just
maybe
put it on
we'll
your
have to do
kitchen
that.
counter.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
put it on your
We'll
kitchen
alternate
counter.
cooking. Yeah, okay.
It's the best.
You're
You
giving
know,
me
like,
ideas. Yeah.
You're cooking dinner, you're mixing, you're like learning new skills, testing things out. It's great.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'm definitely keep that in my back pocket.
You should do it. You should do it.
You just released a new song a couple weeks ago, right? I think it's "You Will Follow."
You Fool.
You
It's
Fool.
called
You Fool.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about that song. And I was reading that it's a little different from everything else that you've released so far.
Yeah, so You Fool is a song. I had a few weeks off at the beginning of the summer where I just sort of went into the studio and was trying to figure out what an Azzecca album would sound like, because in 2024 my plan is to make an album. And I just sort of played around with all of our analog synths and really just like let myself do whatever came to me, and I made so much music in that time, and it's all so vastly different. And You Fool was one that I sort of finished, and I was listening back to it, and I was like, you know what, this has this like nostalgic like early 90s rave vibe. It has breaks, it still has like my sort of typical bass line. It sounds like me, but it sounds like a bit of an evolution of my sound. And I sent it to Higher Ground, and they were like, yeah, we want this. They signed it, and yeah, the reception's been really amazing. It's definitely different from other music I've released. It's a bit more like musical and a bit more, you know, breaky and sort of left field, but people are really liking it, and yeah.
I was listening to it earlier, and I really enjoyed it. And like you said, you're going to be coming out with that new album next year. I can't wait for that to come out and for all your new releases. But thank you so much for hanging out. This was so fun.
Thanks for having me. Thanks so much.